Shalom, family. So, the Most High placed it on my spirit to read the first chapter out of my book, which is called Black Politics. It is now available for sale on Amazon. Black Politics by Rashida Brown. And it's available in paperback and ebook. The ebook right now is free for anybody who has Kindle Unlimited. You can read the book today for free. So I was going to read a chapter of the book to you guys, and I pray you like it, and I pray that you support it. And I pray the Most High put it in your spirit to support it. Okay, so I'm going to read the blurb of the book, and it says, "We will no longer be abused by this system. We will not keep allowing them to keep telling us what black should look like, sound like, and act like," Adora yelled out, standing on the table in front of a small group of individuals. Adora's willingness to risk it all to fight for what she believes in causes controversy within her own community and with government officials. She forms an organization to fight against the system that she thinks doesn't serve all. Her excitement is soon met with disappointment when things take a turn for the worse. Will death threats and opposition from her community be enough to make her reconsider? Will Adora keep fighting for what she believes, or will the pressure become too much? Okay, so I'm going to start reading chapter 1. Okay, so it says, "We will no longer be abused by this system. We will not keep allowing them to keep telling us what blacks should look like, sound like, and act like," Adora yelled out, standing on the table in front of a small group of individuals. The room was packed with about 30 African descent people. Nothing but dreadlocks and afros covered their heads. A few months ago, she and her boyfriend, Abaddon, started this group after a woman of African descent was killed at a local grocery store. As usual, no justice was served, and they both were tired of sitting around not doing anything. So they started the group in hopes of bringing back unity among people of African descent. "That's right," everyone yelled out. They were in a small basement underneath Adara's house. The scent of shea butter, sage, and somebody's strong cologne filled the room. The room was filled with quotes and pictures of African descent leaders. You could not help but notice Marcus Garvey's quote enlarged above the chalkboard. "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots," Marcus Garvey. Everyone sat at their desks listening to Adara speak. "Aren't you tired?" Adara said as her voice trembled. Adara looked around the room, looking everyone in their eyes. "Because I know I am," Adara said. "I've been tired," Amina said. She is a short, plump, brown complexion woman with cinnamon-colored, natural, curly, thick hair. Amina is a gorgeous woman with tight brown eyes. She was Adara's right-hand woman. Anything she needed, Adara knew she could trust Amina to get it done. "So are y'all ready to put in this work?" Abaddon shouted, holding his fist out. Abaddon was twin towers tall, with skin that looked like it had been kissed by the sun. He had excellent white teeth and dimples on both sides of his cheeks. He had long black dreadlocks that touched the middle of his back, with a well-groomed beard that filled his face like a lion. He was well-built and had the strength and courage of a lion. "Hell yeah," everybody yelled out, standing to their feet. Adara looked out at everyone, smiling as her eyes lit up. It brought joy to her to see her people working together. Even though it was a small group, it was the start of something powerful. "All right, I printed out some more flyers. Make sure all of you grab one on your way out. And remember, the meeting will be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So let's challenge ourselves and try to bring at least one person with you," Adara said as she hugged everybody as they exited the basement. "Anything you need me to do?" Amina offered. Adara smiled at Amina. "You have done enough this week. Go home and get some rest," Adara said. "All right, but you know I got you if you need anything," Amina said. "Yes, I know," Adara said, hugging Amina before leaving. Adara and Abaddon finished cleaning and organizing the classroom. Once they're done, they turned the lights off, locked up the basement, and headed upstairs. Adara lived alone in a 3-bedroom home she inherited from her grandparents. She was raised by them when her mom gave parental rights to them when she was 3. Unfortunately, her mother was a drug addict, and she has not seen her mother since she brought her to live with her grandparents. She has tried several times to track her down, but she has not had any luck. Both of her grandparents departed from this world a year ago. Her grandfather left first due to colon cancer, and her grandmother died 5 months after him due to a stroke. She had no siblings on her mother's side that she knew of, and she never knew her father. You want to stay for dinner? Adara asks. Abaddon wraps his arm around Adara, pulling her close to him. You know I would love to, but I cannot tonight. I'm supposed to finish helping my mom pack up. You know she's moving tomorrow into her new place, Abaddon said. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Adara said. Abaddon kissed Adara on her forehead, but I'll call you in the morning. Adara hugged Abaddon. Okay, see you later, my love. Adara and Abaddon both agreed not to live with each other until they're married. It is their belief and they stand firm on it. It's the next day and a half, and half of the day has passed. Adara woke up later than she usually does. She had been working hard trying to get her organization up and running. Unfortunately, the basement was becoming too crowded, and she knew she would eventually have to find another space soon. Adara rolled across the bed, stretching her arms out to grab her phone. She realizes what time it is and forgot about the event she has with a potential client. Oh no, Adara cries, looking at all the missed calls on her phone. She abruptly gets out of the bed. Only got 30 minutes to get there, Adara says as she quickly washes her face and brushes her teeth. Adara is a dark chocolate, average height, slim woman with big, light brown eyes, with a well-defined jawline with a beauty mark above the left side of her lip. She has a thick jet black afro with a nose ring in her left nostrils. She quickly got dressed in a yellow and royal blue African dress with her fro pent up in a bun with a yellow scarf over it. She slid in her royal blue slides and headed out the door. She loaded her food up in her 2-door red Honda Civic car and hit the road. She had been preparing for this event for a month now and could not afford to mess this up. Adara got fired from her job 3 months ago and had been struggling to make ends meet. Her boss let her go due to cultural differences, but she refuses to admit it. They let her go because the company was headed in a new direction, and she did not seem like a fit anymore, as they like to put it. She started her catering and event planning business and had been working out of her home. It has been hard for her to get her first few clients, but she has been doing small jobs here and there. The potential client she is meeting today is a big contract. Governor Richard Howard's wife, Carol, is looking for an event planning service she can hire to host all her events. Adara hoped to land this contract to do more community work and provide jobs for her people. Adara dials Amina's number and put it on speaker. Shalom, sister, how are you doing? Adara says. Shalom, I'm doing fine. Where are you? You were supposed to be here before we got here. Miss Carol and her guests are starting to arrive, Amina says. I overslept. I will be there in 5 minutes. Did all of you get everything set up? Adara asks. You know I got everything covered. Just get here before Miss Carol starts asking questions, Amina said. I'm almost there. Tell a couple of the guys to meet me outside to help unload this food, Adara said. She hung up the phone and tried to get herself together as quickly as she could. But I need this contract to come through. You know the sacrifices I have made. I need you to come through for me like you always do. Give me the courage to stand before these people and all the strength I need. I got so much work to do for my community, which will help me go further. So please let everything go well. Hallelujah. Adara finished praying as she pulled up to the back of the building. Abaddon and a few of the other guys from the organization were standing outside. From the smirk on Adora's face, Abaddon knew she was happy to see him. She did not think he was coming. He texted her early this morning saying he was still helping his mother unpack. Adara got out of the car and greeted the brothers and hugged Abaddon. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave this up to all of you. Take the food in the kitchen and Amina will show you how to set everything up. I'm going to make sure everything looks excellent and greet Miss Carol and her guests. She quickly kissed Abaddon and ran into the building. There you are, Miss Carol says, heading towards Adara. Hello, Miss Carol, how are you? Adara stretches her hand out to greet Miss Carol. Miss Carol was a short, petite Caucasian woman with short blonde hair. She always wore pink lipstick, which made her blue eyes pop out. I'm doing just fine. I cannot wait to try your cuisine today. The dining area looks marvelous. You came highly recommended by a friend of mine, and that dress is quite stunning, I might add, Miss Carol said. Adara planned and catered at Miss Cheryl's charity event 2 months ago, and she has been spreading the word about her business. Well, I sure hope you and your guests enjoy everything. Shall we get started? Of course, dear. Let me show you to the dining area. Adara smiled, amazed at how beautifully everything was set up. Her team did an amazing job. She created the vision and they executed it. The room was filled with royal blue and golden yellow decorations. She had her business information on each piece of silverware. Adara went over to Amina and hugged her. Thank you, sister, Adora whispered in her ear. No problem, you know I got your back. They both smiled at each other as they walked to the kitchen. All right, everyone, can I have your attention, please? Adara says. Everyone stopped what they're doing and directed their attention towards Adara. I want to thank you all for being here and helping me. You all have done an amazing job, and I'm honored to call you my brethren. Getting this contract will open many doors for us, and none of you will have to go back to work. We can create jobs and opportunities for ourselves, Adara says. Everyone smiled as Adara spoke. From the spark in their eyes, you could tell they're happy to be a part of this. Now let's go out there and kill this. Make sure you separate the vegan meals from the non-vegan meals. Let's put our game face on and go win this contract. Adora walked out into the dining room, making her way around the room to greet the guests. Miss Curl was hosting a fundraiser event for Governor Howard's new school he was trying to open. Adara knew this was an excellent opportunity for her and her team. So while her squad served the guests, she's out there networking. As soon as Adara was about to walk over to Miss Carol, her phone vibrated in her pocketbook. Adara headed outside in the hallway to take the call. Hello? Adara said in a hesitant tone. She did not recognize that number. The phone was silent. The only sounds were Adara's breathing and the person on the other end of the phone. Look, I do not know who this is, but Karina, is that you? The caller says. Adara looked at the phone, trying to see where the caller was calling, but she did not recognize that number. Karina is her government name, and nobody calls her by that name anymore. She changed her name a few years ago during her awakening and wanted something with meaning. Adara means mighty and noble, and that describes her character. Unfortunately, she couldn't make out the voice, and she didn't know what to say. Adara held the phone to her ear as her heart beat outside of her chest, waiting for the caller to say something. Look, Karina, I know I'm the last person you will want to speak to, but Mom, is that you? Adora said, stumbling over her words, trying to force the words to come out. It's me, Rena, it's me, Mary said. Her mom was the only person ever to call her that, and it's been long overdue since she heard it. Adora's breathing started to get heavy, so she walked outside to try and calm down. This cannot be happening right now. Adora paced back and forth, trying to make sense of it all. I know I haven't been there for you, Rena. Adora. It's Adara, Adara corrected. I changed my name. I do not go by Karina anymore. A few seconds went by before anyone said anything. Look, Adara, I know I have a lot of explaining to do, and I would love a chance to sit down and talk to you, Mary says. Adara stopped pacing back and forth and just stood there. There you go, girl. Miss Carol is looking for you, Amina said. I would love that, but can I call you back later? I'm in the middle of something right now, Dara says. That's fine. Call me when you're ready to talk. I'll be here. Adara hung up the phone. Amina could tell something is wrong by the discomforted look on Adara's face. You want to tell me what that was about? Amina asked. We can talk about it later. Let's get back in there, Adara says. Adara walks over to Miss Carol, who is sitting with a table full of women. Hello, ladies. Adara looked at everyone at the table. I hope you're enjoying yourselves, Adara said. The ladies nodded and smiled. Miss Carol, Amina told me you were looking for me. Miss Carol looks at all the women and gets up from the table. Ladies, excuse me for a moment. I will be back momentarily, Miss Carol says. Please follow me. I have something I would like to discuss with you, Miss Carol says. Adora followed Miss Carol to an office down the hall from the dining area. Please have a seat, Miss Carol says. Adora sat down across from Miss Carol at her desk. Miss Carol took out an envelope that had Adora's name on it. This is your payment for tonight's event, Miss Carol says, handing the envelope to Adora. Thank you, Miss Carol, Adora says. I brought you in my office to personally thank you for your service tonight. Everything exceeded my expectations, and everyone loved your food, Miss Carol said. She continued to talk, telling Adara how satisfied she and her guests were. Adara sat there quietly with a smile on her face, nodding at every comment Miss Carol made. I have some more projects coming up soon, and I would love to hire you as my event contractor, Miss Carol said. Adara's eyes light up with excitement. I would love that and would be honored to work with you. Adara reaches her hand out to shake Miss Carol's hand. I will have to get my assistant to type up the paperwork, and she will call you in when it's ready, Miss Carol says. I appreciate this opportunity, Miss Carol, Adara says. I'm glad to have you on board, Miss Carol said. Adara and Miss Carol headed back to the dining area. Also, if I were you, I would hire more staff because you're about to be a busy woman. I heard a couple of people who mentioned hiring you for some of their events, Miss Carol says. She wrapped up her event and her guests leave. Adara and the crew cleaned up the dining area and kitchen. The guys loaded up the dishes in Adara's cart. Everyone sat out back, waiting on Adara to lock up. Adara walked over to everyone standing by her car. You all did an amazing job tonight, and I'm grateful to have you all on my team. Abaddon puts his arms around Adara. We're grateful for you too, Abaddon said. Adara looks up at Abaddon, smiling. Thank you, babe. Adara says. That's enough, you two. I'm ready to go, Amina said with her body tilted to one side and her hand on her hip. All right, you all. I just wanted to thank you all and let you know you did an amazing job tonight. I will have your checks ready for you Friday, and we will talk more then. Everyone hugs each other and gets in their vehicles and leaves. You still cooking dinner tonight, Abaddon says. I'm tired and I'm sure you are too. So I'm gonna head home, shower, and go to bed, Adara said. Abaddon looks Adara up and down. Oh, you gonna do the homie like that? Abaddon says with his arms stretched out. You know it's not like that. I'm just tired, that's all. Abaddon grabs Adara, pulling her close to him. He kisses her and opens her car door for her. I was joking with you. Call me when you make it home, Abaddon said. Adara waited for Abaddon to get in his truck and they both drove off. When Adara got home, she unloaded her car and headed into the house. She texted Abaddon to let him know she made it home. After taking a shower, she stretched out on the couch for a late night read. Buzz, buzz. Adara's phone vibrates on the table. She picked it up and saw that there was a notification from the Black News site. It's a site where people post things about African descent people and other minorities that the media does not talk about. Then a video pops up with the title of an unarmed child shot by the police in critical condition. Adora watches the video and is overwhelmed with anger. He's just a baby. You shot him because he was moving too much? Adara shook her head and sat up on the couch. I have got to do something, Adara says, as her hands trembled and her heart started to palpitate. Adara sent the video to her team in a group chat with the heading "Emergency Meeting Tomorrow" and made a post on her social media accounts. "When will this stop?" Adara says, lying back on the couch with her hands folded over her head. Everything seemed to be looking up for Adara that night. She heard from her mother after 20 years of not hearing from her. She got the contract from Miss Carroll, but this pain she was feeling took all of that joy away. So that is the first chapter of the book. I pray that y'all even made it to this point of the book. And I just want to talk about the book a little bit, if that's okay for whoever listens. The book, I just want to highlight that it's not your typical book that you think it is. It's not about speaking against the police department, or anything like that, bashing them. It's highlighting important things that's going on in the world. We all are aware of the treatment that African people get, and not just African, other minorities get in the world, and the type of conditions that we have been placed in. But it don't just it shows everybody participation in it. How if we choose to ignore these problems, then we are a part of the problem also. So it doesn't just speak on the police brutality. It also speaks on African American people themselves. It speaks on the problems that they cause themselves, the problems that they bring on themselves with their actions and the way that they act, and things of that sort. So it's not just about the police department. And this is the first book, so it will be many more books highlighting many different areas that's going on in this world. So this is a very important book that the Most High had placed on my spirit to write. So I pray that it blesses you. And it does have a few, might have a little few strong languages in here, because the point has to be made. But this is a powerful book that is highlighting important information, not only exposing the corruption within the system, but showing the corruption within us as a people, things that each and every one of us need to work on. So he placed on my spirit to place the ebook for free, because I know everybody is not able to afford to buy the book. So you can read the ebook for free on Amazon if you have Kindle Unlimited. Or if you have the money to support, then you can get a paperback book on Amazon also. So I pray it bless somebody. Even if you don't read, then tell somebody else about the book. And with that, I say, shalom.